All right, awesome. Thank you everybody for joining us today. This session will be recorded for you to watch later on. I do have some handouts that will go with this training, and Steve will send those with the recording. So I'll have the deck for you, as well as a couple of other things that will be going with the training with the recording later on. So if you have any questions, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. But we'll run through the process here briefly, so that you can get an overall understanding, and let you know exactly how this is going to work. And if you follow the program, it works. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to build presence, brand recognition, get listings with postcards, Facebook ads, and circle prospecting, or just listed, just sold prospecting. So I'm going to cover three strategies. These are three pillars of modern day farming. One is postcards. So how to get in every mailbox with messages that build familiarity and trust. Then we're going to use Facebook ads to mirror those messages online so that homeowners see you everywhere, and then turn that recognition into real conversations and listing opportunities. So by the end of this training, you're going to have a step-by-step 90-day plan to choose the right neighborhood to farm. Build a simple, repeatable marketing system that integrates mail, online, and phone, and you'll be able to track your efforts so you can see tangible results, have more conversations, more leads, and get more listing appointments. Okay? So the first part with any program is the foundation. And as I always say, you should always start with the end in mind. So we have to build a foundation so that we know exactly what we're doing, who we're speaking to, and how we want to approach them. So how do we choose a farm? So we're choosing farm based on several factors. The first one is the turnover rate. So if you are working in a area where let's just say there's 500 homes, but out of the 500 homes, only 2 or 3 sell every year, that's not a good turnover rate in order for you to market into and get effective results. So what we're looking for is an area that has at least a 5% turnover rate. What does a turnover rate means? That compared to the total number of homes in a given area, you're going to have at least 5% of them turn over. So for example, if you have 1,000 homes in the area, that would be 50 homes sold. 50 homes sold equals 500 transactions. Does that make sense? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody
Could you
understands
just
what I mean by
could you
turnover
just
rate.
could you just repeat those numbers again? Because I was writing when you were talking and I got sidetracked. So
So
with a
let's say
thousand,
if I have 1,000 homes, I'm sorry, yeah, 1,000 homes in a given area that I'm farming, let's just say, and there's a 5% turnover rate, that means that 50 of those properties will change ownership. That could be through public sale on the MLS, it could be through private sale, FSBOs, or whatever. But 50 properties in that given area have turned over and changed ownership from one party to another party.
In what time frame?
That we're going to go over that. So what 50 property transfers means that there was 100 transactions. So there was a buyer side and there was a seller side on each one of those transactions, right? So that's 100 transactions. Next is the price point. So what price point are we targeting? Am I working the luxury market? Am I working a lower end market? Am I working, specific types of properties that I want to deal with? And then it has to be a personal fit. So it has to be an area that you're comfortable working, right? It's the kind of people that you're comfortable talking to and conversing with, and that you feel that a confidence level with those folks. And we're going to show you how to do that. So first thing we want to do, you can go to narrpr.com. Okay, Every agent has this available to them. And if you are a member of the NAR, you have access to NAR RPR, right? Which is the Realtor Property Resource. And this is a great way to search and research different marketing areas that you might want to choose to work in. So now, my suggestion would be is that to start, if you've not done this before, is to start with 500 homes. So we're looking for an area that has about 500 properties in it, because that's manageable, right? It's a manageable, it's a good number that you have enough reach and you can follow up on, because we do have to follow up on these properties, and because we're going to follow up on with postcards and we're going to follow up with phone calls. So we want to have enough that we can manage. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. So when you log into RPR, you'll see that there is a tab up here that says research. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and use a map search on this particular one. And I can look at different areas. So I can change the area that I'm looking in if I want to. I can search specific down almost to the street level of homes that have sold. So I'm going to use an area that's familiar for me. And let me zoom out here a little bit. So these are the tools that we'll be using. So this is Big Pine Key, and I'm going to just, as an example, I'm going to take this area right here, and if there's not enough properties, we could do this area right here. But for now, let's just take this. You can also use multiple locations, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to use the draw feature, and I'm going to use the polygon feature, and I'm just going to draw my line, click down, let's go out to here, and click where you want to turn, and click where you want to turn, and click where you want to turn, and then close it up. Okay, and it's going to show me just to search this area. Okay, so you can see here that it says right now this is the activity that's going on in this area. But I'm going to adjust this a little bit because what I want to find out is how many homes are in this area first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick these, and I'm just going to use public records. And I want to work just single family homes, so I can put that in there. I'll leave the price range open for now, and I'm not going to put any more filters on here, and then we'll click the search button. And you can see here that there are 340 properties in here. So this is telling me in this market area right here that I've chosen, I have a total of 340 properties that are available for single family residents. That's a little short of where I'd like to be, so I might add in some of the other areas. Maybe I'd pull in this area right back here, or I expand the current area if I want. So, but for now, I'm going to use this. So these are the number of homes that I have in there. What I'm going to do is now I want to look at for sale, and I want to look at what's closed. So here's where we choose our date. So this here, you can see it's, I'm going to also include public records sold. So I'm going to choose the dates here, and I'm going to go back at least a year. So we're at September 4th, so I'm going to put in 9/2024. Okay, and then we're going to save that, and I'm going to look at. So here it shows that there was 17 properties that had transferred in that period of time within this area of 340 homes. So if I take 17 and divide that by 340, that's 5%. That is a 5% turnover rate within this area. Everybody got that?
Yes.
Okay, so 17 homes transferred, 340 properties, 5% turnover. 5% is the bottom line. if the turnover rate is less than 5%, I don't want to work in that market. Why do we do that? Why do I say this? Because 17 transactions, most of which have a real estate agent that's involved, right? So I still have competition that I have to deal with. And eventually what I want to do is capture anywhere from 10 to 25% of the transactions within this given area. If I have less than 5% turnover rate, the ability to capture that many transactions is not feasible. So because of the other competition that you have to deal with. So we want at least 5%. 7% is ideal. So 7% or more is, I want to jump in there. So jump in at 7% turnover rate. I want to get into that market as much as I possibly can, because this, what the idea of farming is to create a base for your consistency in your business. So rather than have your business do this, go up and down, a steady farm where you have a 10 to 20% market share will bring you a consistent income. All right, and I have a spreadsheet that we're going to go over later. It shows you how that works. So we want to choose, this is how we want to choose our market area. So if you go into here and look, you could do it by, you can look at the neighborhood search, you can use the map search, whichever is most comfortable for you. But all I want right now is just what the turnover rate is in this community. Everybody good with that?
Frank, I'm sorry. Could we go back? I got the polygon. I got selecting the type and status and the property type. Where did you see how many sold?
Okay, so if you go up, see this
Yep.
menu right up top, okay? So what you can do is you're going to go for the type status,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I
Because yeah, I did public records first, but then it's not, I don't know what I click on.
okay, so public records is going to give me the total count of
Right.
properties based on my filters, right?
Yep.
And once I have that number, I go to for sale and I want closed, include public records sold. Make sure these two things are checked. And then I'm going to put my date in here at least for
Uh-huh.
a year. Okay, at least for a year. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Questions? You good on that one, Laura?
Well, I got it that far, but then where's the report?
Okay, so once you put in the filter, you just click the search,
Search.
right? And it's going to pull up the results.
Okay.
So I know that I had 340 properties in this box. 17 sold. So 17 divided by 340 is 5%.
Got it. I was clicking create report and that wasn't right.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't want to click create report. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if I go, when you go here, it will pop up that box that says create report. But what you want to do is there's a link that just says search this area. Okay, so I'll show you again one more time. Let me try a different area. We'll do this one. I just was doing this one with somebody else. Okay, so again, this is Key Colony Beach, right? I am going to first get the count. So I want public records
Mhm.
for single family homes. I'm going to click search. So there's 891. It'll only show 500 at a time. So when it's over 500, you'll see that this is the number you want to look at, 891. Okay, that's how many homes are in that single family, that are designated single family homes. So, and then I go back, I go to for sale, I uncheck these, I click closed, include public records, I change the date,
It's the date from 1 year to the date from the day, right?
right,
Okay.
okay, I change the date, and then I click search. 50. 50 properties out of 891 have sold. So what's our conversion rate? Everybody do that. What is your conversion rate if you have 50 properties that have sold out of 891?
5.6%.
Excellent, 5.6%. So that is at the bottom range of the number of properties that we want as a turnover rate. Make sense?
Yes, and that's and you said that's ideal because, no, you said 5% to 7% is ideal, correct?
5% is the base.
The minimum, okay, got
That's
it.
the
And then
base.
7% and up is more ideal.
Is ideal, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's
Don't
turnover
you think that the numbers are going to be higher in Marathon with more turnover because of the vacation rentals?
Key Colony is a big
Yeah, of
vacation
course.
rental place, and I mean, that's not a huge turnover.
I just keep
But
pulling them
that's-
and they're like
more.
all 3% in my area.
That goes back again to these other two things, Lauren. Okay, we're looking at turnover rate, but I'm also looking at price point and my personal fit, right? So depending upon the market area that that I choose, I want something that fits me. If I don't want to, if I don't want to deal with investors on vacation rentals, then that's not a personal fit, right? I'm not going to feel comfortable. I want to establish myself in a community in an area that I feel confident in, and not just with my knowledge of the area, but the people and the type of people that are in that area that I can connect with them. I'm looking to make connection, right? I have to make connection with the people that I feel that are going to best fit my business. I am literally choosing who I want to work with when I do this. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if we, so this is our turnover rate, but that is, 5.6%, Natalie, you're right, on that was the turnover rate. So it's a little bit above the base. So makes a good option there. We also know that there's a lot of competition in Key Colony Beach, right? There's a lot of agents in there, but you have, what was it, 50? So that's 100 transactions in there. If I can gain a 10% turnover rate there, or 10% market share there, then that gives me 10 transactions a year in Key Colony Beach. And if you go back and do the research and look at, that's where we want to see price point, right? This is why price point is important. Is it going to fit my minimum income standard? My minimum income standard is based on what do I need every year to keep my business going and to make sure that I cover all my expenses, both personal and business. That my farm has to feed my business. So it keeps me above board, pays my expenses, and for the marketing expense as well. And we'll talk about that later on as well. Okay? Questions on any of that part? Okay, so on to the next one. We want to make sure that we have brand assets that are ready. That could be your headshot, if you have a personal logo, a little tagline, but be consistent. Don't change your photo, your headshot on everything that you do, right? Don't use 3, 4, 5 different headshots. Use the same one on every piece. Same one on the postcard, same one on your Facebook ads, same one in your print ads, all of that stuff. Make sure you're using consistent. If you have a logo, some agents have a logo, be consistent. Use it all the time on everything, right? And then a tagline, something that has kind of attracts the type of person that you're looking with. I'm not just a resident of Duck Key. I'm not just a realtor in Duck Key. I'm also a resident. So I know nobody knows this area better than I do, or something along those lines, right? My tagline used to be, my goal is to get you to closing, simple, easy, no surprises, right? So if you, depending upon what you're looking, who you're talking to, not what you're trying to define, as your who am I in this neighborhood? That's your tagline. You can use ChatGPT to create some. Okay. You're then going to make sure you have some Bay or Canva templates for postcards and Facebook creatives. So within Bay, You can utilize your social bay and decide, use consistent templates, meaning that we want the look and feel to be similar. It's not always going to contain the same content, but we want it to be similar. We want it to be recognizable. This is the whole point, right? So if you see a red background with white letters and script, what do you think of? If you see a commercial or an ad that has a logo that has a red background,
Remax.
a bright red background, and white script letters, what do you think of?
Target.
Okay, that's one. What else?
Donald Trump.
Coca-Cola? No.
There you go, Annalise. Awesome.
Chick-fil-A.
There you go. Okay, so we got Chick-fil-A, Coca-Cola, Target, right?
I
So
was gonna say canvas
there you go.
from college because it's always white and red.
There you go. So each of us, we identify certain colors in certain things with specific brands, right? So if I say red and white logo, each of you had a different identification. So we want to identify by using consistent coloring and feel of the ad, both for the templates, for the postcards, and for the Facebook ads that we're going to do and your posts. So because that consistency is going to make it very recognizable, right? Oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. If you keep changing up your layout, and actually Brian is very, very adamant about layout, right? He's very adamant about how our ads look when we put them out, because he knows that consistency in the image is just as important as the words in the ad. Because people look at it and immediately know that that's Coldwell Banker Schmidt Real Estate, okay? I'm not going to go through a Canva training right now. That's not what this is about. So we could do that another time. Also, just so you know, there's in the RPR, they have a new program that's AI driven for generation searches. So they have a new system. I haven't checked it out yet, and when I do, I will do a training for you on these, on how to do these generational reports, okay? All right, so next, the integration plan. One, we want to keep it local, right? I know that a lot of you, a lot of real estate agents have it in mind, right, that I work with anybody. I'll sell a $50,000 house, I'll sell a $5 million house, I do it all. I work with everybody, right? And I look at people's bios and they say, I specialize in residential, single family home, condo, waterfront, golf course properties, beachfront properties, duplexes, investment properties, commercial properties, business opportunities. And they say, I specialize, and they go down the list of every single thing, every category that you can work in. That's not a specialization. That's a general MD, right? That's a doctor, that's like a family doctor. I do a little bit of everything, but when it comes to a specific issue, I'm going to send you to the cardiologist, or I'm going to send you to the to the chiropractor, or I'm going to send you to the gynecologist, whatever. So your family doctor is not a specialist, right? Your family doctor is general medicine. And then when it's something specific that may be an issue, or he's not sure what the issue is, he's going to send you to a specialist. A specialist means that you specialize in a specific thing, whether that be an area, a type of property, a specific market segment, a niche area. Okay, there are agents that specialize in working with high-profile people, right? Like actors or musicians. And there is even more narrow people, agents, right? There in, let's say, in musicians, there are agents that work with jazz musicians. There are agents that work with rock musicians, right? There are agents that work with actors, and then there are agents that work with directors and producers. So you need to be specific. And the point of this particular program is to keep your information and the ads and the message local to that community. So if I'm going to mail in Duck Key, I don't want to mail, I sell every property in Florida Keys. I want to mail information that's going to be used by people in Duck Key. That would be of value to people in Duck Key. So every postcard that we put out is going to be echoed by a Facebook ad. So you're going to put out the postcard, and then we're going to put up a Facebook ad and also support that with posts with very similar or the same information. So the message on your postcard matches the Facebook ad. Okay? And then after that, every ad and postcard is reinforced by phone calls. And here's where we're going to go. So this is week 1 and 2. If we go into weeks 2 to 6, we're going to put out our postcards. We want to send out an introductory postcard, right? And just saying that, hey, I'm Frank. I'm your go-to person for for Key Colony Beach real estate, or I'm your go-to person, for Cudjoe Key real estate. And provide information in there that's not all about me, but all about them, right? Again, start with the end in mind. My goal is to get into these people's heads and get them to say, oh, they must be the right person for this area. Oh, they know a lot about this area. Oh, they know about the houses in this area. Oh, I like the message that they're giving me value, right? And you don't give value by talking about yourself. You give value by talking about their situation, their problems, their challenges, and how you can solve them. That's what makes you the expert. So follow-up postcard every 3 weeks. All right, simple themes. We're starting out, again, this is a recognition type program. So we're going to do market updates, do a snapshot of market updates. You're going to do just listed, just sold. Every company's listings, right? Meaning that if you keep it generic, right? Meaning that any property that goes on the market, we're going to send out a just listed, hey, did you know about this home, right? And without don't use anybody else's photos, please. Okay, if you're going to, go take the photo yourself on your phone, right? But if you could just provide a list of here's all the homes that just went on the market in your neighborhood. Here's all the homes that just sold in your neighborhood, right? Here's all the homes that just went under contract in your neighborhood. You could put out tips for maintenance, curb appeal, things like that. You could put out tips about home staging. Why would I want to put out a postcard about home staging or prepping your home for sale or repairs before selling? What's worth repairing, what's not? Because that directly appeals to people that may be may be ready to sell, right? So it's a progression. So I'm giving them information, value, right? And following this up with the same information on my Facebook ads, right? So if I do a market update postcard, I want to follow that up with a Facebook ad about the market update in that neighborhood. So we're going to do farm-specific ad campaigns using the same designs as we use for our postcards. We want to do local awareness ad, introducing yourself, just listed, just sold carousels, which are very big. What's my home worth leads? And you're going to budget somewhere, you don't have to go to $10 a day, but you're going to budget, you could budget $3 to $5 a day, depending upon the size of your farm. So if you're starting out small with the 500 home farm, you might want to just budget $2 or $3 a day, right? That could be enough. How do we go about doing this? So when you go into Facebook, right? This is my test page where I play around with stuff to see what works and what doesn't work. So this is a business profile. You could also do this from a business page or a creator page. You have 2 ways of doing it. So either one, because of the changes that Facebook has just recently made, it doesn't really matter anymore. So you can go into your business profile or your creator page, and you want to look at create ads.
Frank, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What are you talking about when you're saying creator page?
So there are creator pages. Let me Let me open up another.
I mean, or let me just ask you, since we have like our business profile page connected to, anyway, can we do, why would you choose a creator page versus your business profile page?
Hold on just a second. I'm going to show you. Okay. All right. So you have, whoops, got that. There are different types of pages in Facebook. Okay. These are, anytime you see this, where you see at the top, it says profile, that's a profile page, meaning that this is like kind of like your personal page in a way. It does give you, depending upon how you set it up, it gives you certain permissions, right? Depending upon the type of page you have, you can be restricted from your advertising, or the type of things that you can post, depending upon the type of page that you have. If I use, and I'll show you, is this one? No, that's a profile. Hold on. All right, so this is a business page. This is straight up business page. And if you look, you'll see that this is, it doesn't have the word profile in it, right? It actually has a name in it. If you use a name, this gives me different permissions, mostly related to copyright, right? Which are like, if you have a business page and it has your business name in there, you're going to be restricted as to the type of content you can post, right? You're going to have, there's going to be restrictions on music, restrictions on photos, restrictions. So you have to comply with FTC standards on your business page. On your business profile, you have a little bit more freedom. Okay, you can play around with things here, and you can use stuff that you wouldn't be able to use on your business page. So there are different types of profiles, and you can create a page based on the type of profile you want to create. So there are creator pages, there are business pages, there are business profiles, there are personal profiles. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to market to a specific local area, a business profile will work for you. So this is the business profile. And if let me close this one. If I go into the business profile, this is where I can create ads. So when you click on that link for create ads, let's see, am I logged in? Oh, I'm not logged into that. I'm sorry. I'll go back to this one. Okay, so when I go into this profile, yes, Kim.
I just had a really quick question. So you mentioned creator page, and then you're talking about your, Frank Verna, Florida Keys homes. Now, are you wanting to create the ads under your business page, the Frank Verna, or is it better to have creator page?
For local marketing, when you're
Yeah.
trying to work into a farm, the creator page or the business profile page, not the business page, but the business profile page, are better options for you.
What is the difference between a business page and a business profile page?
I don't want to get too stuck into this part, but where a business profile, very simply, Alina, if it says the word profile in it, that's your business profile. When you create the page within Facebook, if I go to create a new page, and this is not a Facebook training, all right, if I go to create a new page or add a new page, it's going to ask me what kind of page I want. And a business profile is one of the options.
I had
If
already
it says
done Google
profile,
Training
it's a
Open,
profile.
but I just did a good one on travel TripAdvisor.
What's that, Lauren? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I should be muted.
Okay. And then the other one is a business page. That's where it actually shows the name of the business in the link. And that's going to be the one that's a little more restrictive. All right, so we got a little off topic. We'll go back into that. So we are in create ads when you're in your business profile, or business profile, or your creator page. You'll have a dashboard, and you can see the link that says create ads. When you open that page, you're going to come to this page where it says create new ad, right? So home related or housing related ads are a little bit different, and they have more restrictions on them than other typical ads you might see. I'm going to give you another option, and if you go down to a post and you see the boost post tag on there, you can get, if you click the boost post tag, okay, you're going to get a page like this. There is a difference between these two things. All right, ads are going to be pushed out to the general public. Boost posts are going to be pushed out to your audience. The people you have in your friends list and people that look at your posts regularly. So it's going to go to them first. And then it'll start to go to their friends of friends and friends of friends of friends and things like that. So an ad goes to the public. So if you're in here, you're going to create your ad. You're going to put in your ad text here. Let's, and I will tell you this. You cannot ask a question in your ad. You must make statements. If you ask questions in your ad like, hey, do you want to know your home value? Your ad will not be approved. Okay, Facebook will not allow ads that ask questions or try to pull people from in that manner, right? It has to make statements. So here, instead of saying you want to know what the latest home values are in Ducky, I would just state, here are the latest home prices. Home prices sold in Key Colony Beach, right? So, and I might want to do that. Whatever my message is on my postcard, that's the message I want to put in here. You can put in more text, and you can use emojis and stuff like that, but avoid asking questions within your post, within your ad. You can change the picture, just click edit, change media, and you can select a different picture. And then you're going to click this button here. Is this ad about housing? Yes. No matter what you do, it has to be, even if it's not related. Well, I'm not talking about housing. I'm talking about, an event in a community. Your services encompass housing. So if you're advertising, doing an ad, about anything about using your business profile as a real estate agent, it is a service of housing. So you have to choose housing ad. Now, you're limited on the audience that you can choose. How the audience details works and how do I target a specific neighborhood is within the ad itself. So I'm going to use specific keywords within this ad that are targeting that neighborhood. So if I want a specific neighborhood, if I want to see, homes in Shark Key, for example, okay, the words I use are going to target the ad to that area. So the AI that they use, the algorithm they use, will search your ad to see what is the content about, where is the located, that kind of information. So I want to put the name of the community and or the general area in there at least 2, possibly 3 times if I can. Don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, they'll stop. They won't approve your ad. So 2 or 3 times is fine, as long as it makes sense, right? I'm not just typing Shark Key 3 times. I has to make sense within the ad. And again, I wanted to reflect what's on my postcard. So you're going to do housing ad. You have no choice here, so you have to leave this the way it is because it won't allow you to change anything. And then you're going to set your budget, right? It's going to give you an estimate. And the estimates now are different, okay? They're new. The estimates are based on actuals, what's supposed to be actual accounts. There's a lot of fake accounts and on Facebook, so they're trying a new process to remove those from your ads. So those don't post on your ads don't post onto fake profiles. So we don't know what the outcome of that is yet. This is a fairly new thing that they started in July, and we're going to see how it runs and see what the results are. But you can start a very limited budget and run it for a certain period of time. You can choose when the ad ends. So I would end an ad when I'm ready to send out another postcard. So every 3 weeks, I would run an ad for 3 weeks. And like I said, you can do $3, you can do $5, you can do $10. It really depends on you. But I would run the ad for as long as I'm dropping mail with that message in that community. Any questions on that? If you're not sure about what you want to put in, use the ad library for some ideas. So you can go into the ad library, and the ad library is very simple. Just Google Facebook ad library. It'll be the first result, I promise. Facebook ad library. When you go into the ad library, you're going to click, the section is housing, and then where you want to look at, what area we're looking for, or what is the information about. And then look through some of the ads and see what they have coming in. I will say this, these type of ads are a waste of money. Okay, these trying to put a flyer within an ad is a waste of money. These, you can see how this, this is one of our boost ads. So you can see how it fills in the color pops out. People want to see that. When you see this, people just scroll by. They're not even gonna look at it. Okay, and the easy way to look at that is to just go ahead and look at how long the ad has been running. If you see that the ad has been running for more than a month, chances are that's a good ad. People aren't going to run an ad for more than a month that it's not a good ad. Now, as I scroll through this, I want you to notice how many of these ads, and these are ads that people are paying for, have video in them. This is the key. Video is king. Still images are just scroll by. Okay? Carousels do work because people want to see multiple images, so carousels will work, but still will not work as good as video. If you're going to do a video ad, do not do a vertical video, please. Okay, because you're wasting money there. Okay, you have all this space around it that's not being filled in. Do an ad that fills in the area like this, right? People are going to notice this much faster than they're going to notice this. Okay, and make sure that you have a good flash page, a splash page that captures people's attentions. That's the image that you see before the video runs. But utilize the full screen or a carousel, or if you're going to do video, do a full video. Okay, don't do vertical video in an ad. Okay, not for Facebook. On Instagram, that's a different story. And some of these may be for Instagram. But you can look through here and get some ideas. Okay, where are we at time-wise? Okay. All right, so that's once you're done, you just click publish. You'll get a preview of the ad as you create it here. You do have to decide what you want the ad to do, right? So if I want them to visit my website, or I want them to call me, or I want them to send me a DM, you can use the automatic button from Facebook. But if you have a specific reason that you're doing this, like, hey, here's my report on how to improve your curb appeal, or here, download this, see the video on this home, then what I want is to make sure that I utilize what I want the ad to do. I want to utilize this area here. So you go where it says goal, you click change, and then choose a specific action that you want the person to do. Okay? All right. Moving on. And don't worry, this is all recorded. You can go back and look at it later on. Once we start dropping postcards in an area, I want to prospect around my postcard drop, right? And what am I going to say? Hey, did you get my market update in the mail? Hey, did you enjoy the tips and information that I provide you? Hey, did you like had you seen the property down the street that was for sale, right? So I'm not calling to say, hey, you want to sell your house? I'm calling in this neighborhood because I need people to sell their house. You want to get out? Okay, that's not what I want to do. I'm trying to make connection. This is a farm strategy. This is not we want long-term results. This is not just for immediate. Will you get people that might want to list right away? Sure, that can happen. It happens more often than you think, but it'll help happen a lot more the more familiar they are with you. So you're going to call through, use a Ford-based script, right? What is Ford? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? I want to ask questions about them that's going to get them to open up and talk to me. Focus on conversations, not scripts. We want, hey, I'm just curious, are you planning on making any moves in the next year or so? That would be toward the end of the conversation. Let's connect first, then you can ask the question. And my call frequency. My goal is to do 25 to 50 dials per week in the farm. So I want to have a 500 home farm. I want to do 25 to 50 dials per week in that farm so that I can hit those people as those postcards are dropping and reach out to them with the information. Did you get it? Did you see it? Have you used it? Was it helpful? Did you find value in that? And be sincere in that you want to help them with their challenges, situations, or problems regarding their home or their home sale. So it's all about it's about conversations, not just dials, but you do need the dials in the farm in order to make it work. Should I leave a voicemail? So if you are calling into your farm, you want them to hear your voice. So when I'm doing farm prospecting, I do want to leave voicemails. And you can you're going to leave the same message as if you spoke to them. Hi, I'm the real estate agent. I'm Frank from Coldwell Banker Schmidt. I'm the one that sends you the market update postcards. And I just wanted to make sure that you got it and see if you had any questions. There's been some changes since I dropped that card. Hey, I'm Frank Verda from Coldwell Banker Schmidt. I just wanted to say I've been sending out these postcards that for information about improvements to your home. Just wanted to see if you were getting any value out of it. Hey, you might have seen my Facebook ad. I just wanted to say hello personally. I'm trying to put a voice to the face that you might be seeing, and so I just wanted to make sure that you're getting some value out of it. Or just letting you know I'll be sending out my quarterly market report. So I wanted you to know in advance because this is the most important report that we put out every year. And when you get it, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. No pressure. So those kind of phone calls and emails or voicemails and texts are the type of things that you want to leave. So the stacking effect. This is the fourth phase of how this is going to start to pay off. Okay, if you've done this consistently, by now homeowners have seen you in print, they've seen you online, they've heard your voice, you now have recognition factor. That equals trust. They know you, they probably like you, and now you're building the trust part in there. So the three pillars that we need in order to obtain a client, know, like, and trust you, are done in advance so that you have a better shot when you make those phone calls, right? We want to put them into our CRM, make sure that we nurture them, keep them in that loop. You should have contact with everyone in your farm in one way or another once a month. Once a month. What do most real estate agents do? They'll drop 5,000 postcards or 10,000 postcards one time. They've spent thousands of dollars on the postcard. They've dropped it there. There's no way that they can follow up on all of those postcards. So they can't make phone calls to 10,000 people. And then they get a really low return and they say, well, postcards don't work. And then they stop. They do it one and done, maybe two. Okay, do it in small increments, spread it out, let it grow organically, and it will. Let it grow organically, and then you'll have a much better long-term success. Again, farming is about building a foundation for your business that keeps you consistent regardless of the market. Okay. Track your results, right? I want to know how many postcards I sent. I want to know how many Facebook impressions, clicks, and leads, most importantly. How many actual leads did I get from it? So are people engaging with my ads? Are they putting it out? Why do I want to do ads? Again, because it goes out publicly. You can add posts to your page to kind of supplement the ad. You can even do a boost if you wanted to for a short period. But again, the ad is going to be set to a specific area to target a specific person who has a specific interest in that specific area and may be interested in buying or selling in that property, in that area. Okay. Then note how many dials you've made, total number of dials, how many contacts, which is how many live voices, and fortunately we're doing Call Mania tomorrow, the setup sessions later today, and you get you some help with that. How many nurtures do I have, which means how many people did I add into my database, and how many appointments did I get that week. So each day keep a running total. Use a simple spreadsheet, or you can use your CRM if your CRM will do that. So but these are critical. You must know your results. If you don't see the results, you're not going to know if it's working the way you want it to work, and it may be working better than you think. So the goal is to get 1 to 2 listing opportunities by day 90. This is not a quick fix program. This is a long-term foundational strategy. So 1 to 2 listing opportunities by day 90. And we're going to reinforce that by compounding visibility with long-term dominance. This is how you get people who say, oh, gee, how does that agent do so many deals in that neighborhood, right? How, that she does like half the transactions in that neighborhood. How does she do that? It's by being consistent and visible in a specific geographic location for a long period of time. Okay, how does this work? Before we get to this one, I want to show you. So this is a spreadsheet. I think I did this back in mid or early 2000s. That I created this spreadsheet on the benefits of farming, right? So all the blue areas are areas that you can edit. I'm going to send this spreadsheet to you guys, but this is how do I budget myself and get an idea of what it's going to do, what I'm going to do. So each year, you can see here there's a progression of 500. So each year I'm adding 500 more homes into the mix. I look at what is my area turnover rate, so I can change the rate 6%. So here you can see that would be 30 homes changing ownership. That is 60 transactions. If I have a 10% capture rate, and the more you do this, the larger your capture rate will be. That means what's your market penetration, right? What's my market conversion? So that would be 6 transactions. If my average sale price is $750, you can change the commission if you want. I've put in the average, which is 2.67%. That's a gross commission earned of $20,025. If your commission split is at 70%, you would make a gross commission earned of $14,000. Oh, you know what? I have to fix this part. I put the E&O and franchise fee after the split. It should go before the split. So the franchise fee should go before the split. But it's still going to give you a good number. So that might be my net commission earned. And if I did this in a year, that's my total earnings. what is my budget? My budget is 10% of that. And this is the other area that a lot of agents make a mistake in, is they don't budget their marketing. Marketing is not based on the number of sales you make. Marketing is based on the number of transactions you want to achieve and budget it according to that number consistently. So I take 10% of every commission that I make goes into the war chest for marketing. So that would be over a year's time. You can see that that would be $7,845. So it meets my monthly marketing budget, $653. So whatever I do, it has to work within this number. And this would be the net income before taxes. If you stretch this out over a 5-year period, you can see how you can go from 70,000 to 750,000 if you do this consistently by adding 1 farm area a year to your efforts. These are not made up numbers. These are actual proven numbers. These conversions and these numbers are actually proven. I've done it many times. Okay, I went from a 500 farm house area to a 5,000 farm area, and that put me in the number 1, number 2, or number 3 spot within South Florida, and top 100 at Remax. So these numbers work. All right. So if you keep consistent with it, you have to be consistent with it. And now that's a good base to have. If you don't want to do that many homes, then you can adjust it to be wherever it's working for you. You can adjust the average sale price. You can increase your sale price. You can increase your sides. You can increase the number of homes that you're doing. You have a way to manage how you're doing this. So what's the numbers on here? So a lot of agents underestimate how much impact layering this stacking strategy works. Okay, on average, industry average shows that postcards in real estate typically generate 0.5 to 1% response rate when mailed cold with no reinforcement. 1% to half a point to 1%. 1% is good. Right? So if I send out 1,000 postcards and I get 10 replies, that's good. Right? Or 100, 10 responses, that's good. All right? And that's not saying that you got listings. That's just people responding to the postcard. And here's a little thing that's not quantified. Generally, dropping postcards and getting a 1%, in order to get to the 1% level, you have to drop them consistently for at least 6 months. So if I'm dropping 1,000, I have to drop 6,000 postcards over a 6-month period in order to increase my response rate from like a 0.2 to 0.5 to 1%. In order for that to happen. When a homeowner sees the postcard and then recognizes your face again in their Facebook feed and finally hears your voice on the phone, your recognition skyrockets. A good local example of this is, and I'm going to use Allie again. Allie had no community connections when she started doing the videos on Facebook and stuff. It kind of blew up her recognition factor. Right? So more people got to see and know who she is. Same thing with Michelle Wininger, right? She does Instagram, so that helped increase her visibility. It's no different, doing social media is no different than doing an ad in the newspaper. It's putting yourself out there so that people get to know you. So the layered approach increases the response rate by 3 to 4 or 5 times your original, if you just drop postcards alone. So if you integrate postcards, Facebook ads, and your phone calls, you can get a response rate of 5% or higher. All right. In some areas, when I used to do this as a strategy, in some areas I could get a response rate almost 10 to 20% response rate on my postcards because of the layering effect. So now you're having more meaningful conversations and more listing appointments. That's the whole key. Familiarity breeds trust, right? The homeowners feel like they know you. They trust you because you're showing up in multiple places, right? One day I walked into the bank to deposit a check, and the teller is like, "Oh, it's you. I see you everywhere. You're all over the place." That's the kind of familiarity that you want. Multiple touches beat a single impression every time. If I reach out to a FSBO once, chances of me getting that listing, 10 to 15%. If I reach out to a FSBO 7 times, chances of me getting that listing, 89%. So big difference. Calls close the loop. So instead of waiting for somebody to reply, you're being proactive. So I've got the postcard, I've got the Facebook ad, and now they actually get to meet me. And you almost build a pseudo celebrity status in that way, because people see you on video, people see you on Facebook, people see the postcards, so that immediate recognition is the same thing like seeing somebody in a movie and, oh, I like that actor, right? That's my favorite actor. She's my favorite actress. That's my favorite. He's my favorite actor. And because you've seen them multiple times and you've found something within them that you identify with, or within that character that you identify with. So the bottom line, postcards alone can get you in the door, so to speak, or at least in the mailbox. But the Facebook ads and making the calls, that makes you separate, unique in the neighborhood from everybody else. Okay? So that is the full presentation. Make sure that you use consistency and creativity. It's better to repeat simple messages across multiple channels than reinvent messages each time. Integration creates authority, and it takes 6 to 12 months to market share. So set realistic expectations. Don't expect immediate results. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but don't expect it to happen overnight. You have to commit to it, and you have to be consistent to building a farm. I will send the calculator with the deck so that you have that. And finally, any questions?
Yes. Okay. So, until I can actually build on my Facebook and computer skills, I'm gonna, I can't do this. I really have to do that. Now, I'm not suggesting, Frank, that you postpone your trip to Italy, but I mean, that's totally up to you.
I love you, Naira.
I don't know. I don't know how invested you are in my success, but if you feel comfortable going, go, have a good time. But meanwhile, until I can actually understand more, and so what I'm wondering, and I'm thinking I might not be alone in this group. And if I am, that's just more me time. But maybe when you get back or something, if there's a way we could do something, whether it be like a Zoom call, like I was watching and go, trying to take notes while you were talking, and I know I'll be able to see this online, but there are certain things that I feel like I really need more like hand holding, I guess it's going to be. So maybe there's a way we can do Zoom where everybody is doing kind of doing the same thing on their computer. You know what I mean? Like
you want to do it in real time.
Yeah, create it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
Naira. I take all my notes and then it's
Yay,
just so
Lauren.
much.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's what I need. So whether we do it like in person, Frank, you don't have to buy us lunch if it's in the office, but again, it's up to you.
Arrows just keep coming, Naira.
Aren't you glad I attend these things?
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, that's what I would really like to see happen.
Sure.
As a next, because I think we can all start doing the beginning stuff, like finding our target area that we want to farm. But as far as me starting to post things on Facebook, I'm not there yet. So that's and that's
when you say you're not there yet, I'm just to clarify, meaning that you're not sure about what to do, or you're not confident about what to do.
C, all of the above.
How do I log into Facebook?
What is Facebook? Yeah, but no,
Okay.
like, but yeah, kind of
I'll
like,
tell you what, here's what we'll do. We'll put together a training session that'll be just Facebook focused, right? And I'll go through the details on how to do Facebook, and we can do it in real time together. So you can follow along with what I'm doing. Fair enough?
okay, sounds great.
Okay.
From Italy or after or
No, yeah, after Italy.
instead of, after. Okay,
This is
gotcha.
Ruth. Ruth did this to me because she said, "Okay, you're going to do the first week, and then of course you're going to be away." See, now everybody's getting now. I'm gonna have to do a training session from Italy. All right.
Ira,
If you,
Sorry.
unless you want to take us all with you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. No problem. I think the plane's big enough, right? Caitlin, you asked her, what did she want? Phase three, slide for phase three. Okay, hold on. Let me show that real quick. Slide for phase three. Don't forget, you're going to get all these in the when I send it to you. Okay. So again, phase three, direct contact. That's doing your call strategy, call frequency, $25, $50 every week into the farm. And then your direct contact through voicemails and text. If you should, this is the one time really that I agree that you should leave voicemails. When I'm doing marketing outside of my farm area, I generally don't leave, I wouldn't leave voicemails. But in your farm area, you want to leave voicemails. You want people to get to know your voice. Okay? You will get a copy of the deck, and you will get a copy of the spreadsheet. You will get the notes that are generated from the Zoom AI. We will do a follow-up on that as well. Any other questions? Anybody else have any other questions?
Hey,
How do we obtain mailing lists with corresponding phone numbers? All right, good question, Paula. How do we obtain mailing lists with corresponding phone numbers? So when I pick my market area that I want to go into, if you go into RPR or you can go into Flex, you can pull the addresses that are from your market area, and then you would need to put them into either a neighborhood search. You can use a neighborhood search on a dialer, or you would have to put them into what's called a skip trace search in order to get the actual contact numbers. But Jeff can help you with getting onto Vulcan 7. Are we still doing Vulcan 7, Jeff? Are we doing the
Arch agent? You can also look on Forewarn for numbers one by one.
Yeah, you can look on
It's
Forewarn,
free.
but 500 number, looking up 500 houses might get a little tedious. Using using a back end will help you a lot, right? So you can use Forewarn, which is free to you through your FAR association. But you do need or you could just use the whitepages.com, right? You can use whitepages.com and see if you come up with phone numbers for people. You're not going to get cell phone numbers and stuff like that out of whitepages.com, right?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Going back to Facebook, can you, like, I already have a business page set up, but I set it up so many years ago. I don't know what type of page I set up. How do I tell?
If you set it up more than 3 years ago, then it's a business page, right? It'll still have
Okay.
the name of the business in it, right? So the creator profile, all that stuff didn't start up until that started like late 2022. Anything before that would have been a business page. It may have been converted by Facebook automatically. You have to check. But the key is if it says profile in the web address, then that's a profile page. If it says the name of the business, that's a business page.
And what we want is the business page, correct?
No, you want the profile, the business profile or creator page, right? That's going to give you more freedom to do things that you want to do. Business page is going to have restrictions on what you can post. You're going to be subject to copyright and all kinds of other things. Any other questions?
So would I need to then, I think because mine is a business page, it doesn't say profile in the address, then do I need to start a new one or can I convert it to the
Can't convert a
profile?
business page. You can
No,
convert your personal page, but you cannot convert a business page. You'd have to
Okay.
create a new profile.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I hope you got value out of this. If you did, please let us know. If there's more information or other things you'd like to see, like Naira brought up, please let me know. I am more than happy to do that as well. All right.
I got one thing, Frank.
Yes, Jeff.
Hey, I just want
Welcome
to
back, Jeff.
today at 1:30, we're going to be doing the setup session for tomorrow's Call Mania. So if you've never been to a Call Mania and you're thinking about it, at least come to the setup session. It's only 30 minutes. I know we're throwing a lot at you today, but there's a lot of opportunity out there in the marketplace, and we're just trying to help you make more money. So 1:30 to 2, Call Mania setup, give you the information that you need to have a successful Call Mania tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up with your assistant office manager and have a nice lunch brought into the office for you. So that's it.
Jeff just got back from wrestling bears out in the woods. So welcome back, Jeff. We're glad you made it.
Thank you, Frank.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Nope. Thank you very much. Please, we'll see you at 1:30. Have a great day. Hope you got value out of it.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks,
Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
When do you go to Italy? Oh, when does he go to Italy? I want to go.